Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty beef has escalated to a point of no return.
When Pooh Shiesty walked out the feds, everybody thought him and Gucci Mane was about to run the game back. But what went down next had the whole internet shook. Shy just shared a chilling video of Gucci Mane, and that's right after the robbery allegations and a kidnapping plot that sounds straight out a Hood movie. The streets is talking, and this story is absolutely insane. The come-up and the warning signs. Look, when Pushiest touched down from the feds in October of 2025, the whole rap game was on high alert. No cap. This was the young gunner from Memphis, Tennessee, who had absolutely bodied the competition with his platinum-certified banger, Back in Blood, featuring Lil Durk, a track that shot all the way up to number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 and had the streets on repeat for months on end. Whose debut tape Shy Season landed at number 3 on the Billboard 200, putting the whole industry on notice that Memphis had birthed another certified hitmaker who could move units in command. Respect from coast to coast. Standing right behind that astronomical come-up was none other than the trap god himself, Gucci Mane, the Atlanta legend who had blessed Pooh Shiesty with a deal on his 2017 Records imprint back in 2020, putting his whole reputation on the line because he believed so deeply in the young boy's raw talent and authentic street energy that he was willing to vouch for him in front of the entire industry. But what went down in the weeks and months after Shy walked out them federal gates would have the whole internet going crazy, exposing cracks in what everybody thought was an unshakable big broil bro bond, and eventually leading to allegations so wild, so absolutely insane that they sound more like something out of a Hood movie than anything that could actually happen in real life. To really understand how we got to this point of complete mayhem and confusion, we got to run it back to the very beginning, to the foundation of this whole situation. Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty's partnership kicked off in 2020 when the young Memphis spitter caught the attention of the 1017 Records boss. At that time, Shy was bubbling up through early singles that showcased a gritty realness that reminded folks of Gucci's own early grind. The signing was more than just paperwork and business moves. It was like passing the torch from one generation of trap to the next. You feel me? Their first joint effort dropped as Still Remember in June 2020, complete with a visual that put Shy on game in front of Gucci's massive fan base. They ran it back with Who Is Him later that same year. Another video collab that showed the chemistry between the OG and the young boy was real as it gets. By October 2020, Shy had earned his stripes on the 1017 Posse Cut 1017. Loaded alongside Gucci and other label homies like Fugano, Big Scar, and Enchanting. The momentum kept building into 2021 when they dropped the visual for Ugly, a high-octane trap anthem that proved their creative connection was straight fire. When Shiesty Season went crazy on the charts, Gucci made a gesture that had everybody talking. He blessed Shy with a slime green Jeep Trackhawk during his birthday function, a move that went viral across the socials and seemed to solidify their bond as something way deeper than just label politics. But underneath all that success, drama was already brewing in ways nobody could have peeped at the time. You dig? On October 9, 2020, the same year he inked that deal with 1017 Records, Pooh Shiesty pulled up in a rented lime green McLaren to the Landon Hotel in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida, supposedly to link with some cats for a transaction involving loud, lean, and some designer kicks. What popped off next would change the whole trajectory of his career forever. According to the feds, Shy checked out the goods, then pulled out a Draco and started letting it fly, catching one of the sellers in the process as he dipped out in the McLaren. A Louis Vuitton bag with $4,012 in cash fell out the whip, and investigators would later tie that bread directly to try by matching the serial number on a $100 bill to one he had flexed on the gram just days earlier. Then came the Memorial Day weekend incident in 2021 at the King of Diamond strip club in Northwest Miami-Dade. Some static popped off when racks reportedly fell out his pocket, and as security was walking him out, Shy allegedly pulled out the stick and let one off toward the floor, hitting a security guard in the ankle. On January 4, 2022, Pooh Shiesty took a plea on federal conspiracy to possess firearms in furtherance of crimes of violence and drug trafficking. And in April of that year, the judge handed him 63 months in federal custody. The deal knocked out 3 other federal charges and got the state strip club case thrown out entirely. Throughout his whole bid, Gucci Mane stayed 10 toes down for his artist. During Shy's sentencing, Gucci reportedly spoke on his behalf, showing love even as Shiesty faced the consequences of his actions. Roll of the dice. Yeah, Shy. He's still on the label, 100%. Oh yeah, SH. I got big plans for Shaw. Man, that's who I've been waiting on. Shaw, so you know going to go up through there now. And Finn to come out, and I got big plans for him, too. I got just execute these plans. Everything right on time. Bro, it's very exciting times now. Yeah, I've been waiting on them. I can't lie. Those words from Gucci painted a picture of a boss who had been counting down the days until his star player could get back in the game and resume the dominance they had established together. When Shy finally touched back down on October 7, 2025, after doing roughly 3 years, thanks to time served and good behavior, Gucci hopped on the gram with mad energy, welcoming him home and calling him the main slime. The way Gucci came home, and like that motivated me too, because like I took notes from there, like how he switched it up, how he toned up, got fit, got his mind healthy. Like took notes in that every way, so that motivated me to move how I'm moving like toward today to so like he showed that it can be done, like all you got to do is want. It got sober but up. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of the similar traits because I realized that he woke up when he was in there. You know what I'm saying? Like he really woke up. Everything looked like it was falling right into place. No funny business. The OG had held it down while his young boy did his time, and now they was ready to shake the whole game up once again. But the hip-hop world was about to find out that looks can be deceiving as hell, and that the seeds of destruction had been planted way before Shiesty ever stepped foot out that federal facility. The split and the smoke. To really grasp how deep the beef between Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty would get, you got to first understand the tragedy that rocked the whole 1017 Records family. While Shiesty was locked up doing his bid, Big Scar, born Alexander Woods, wasn't just another artist on Gucci's roster, fam. He was Pooh Shiesty's blood cousin, a family tie that went way deeper than typical Bell relationships between a boss and his snee. The young Memphis rapper had been making noise with his contributions to 1017, sliding through on tracks like So Icy Boys and proving his worth within the label through pure talent and straight hustle. On December 22, 2022, Big Scar passed away at just 22 years old from an accidental overdose on prescription pain meds while at his girl's crib in Memphis. The pain medication had been prescribed after a 2020 shooting where a bullet traveled up his spine, requiring surgery to take out his appendix. Gucci hopped on the gram to mourn Scar publicly, calling him his secret weapon, and tributes flooded in from all over the industry. But for Pooh Shiesty locked away in the feds with no way to pull up to the funeral or properly grieve his little cousin, the pain was on another level entirely. Big Scott passing away. Like, I could agree with me being in there and having some alone time to think. I could really agree with it, but like to this day, I still ain't really got over that dot. You know what I'm saying? So it's my little cousin, like I was there, every step of the way, until unfortunately, I weren't there no more. So me coming home to that, like being in there when you hear a death and you get the bad news. It don't feel real, especially like without you being able to go to a funeral or see him like right there. So it's like a whole different world in there. So it ain't feel real. Me getting out here, not being able to see him or call him or him to tell me welcome home. Still messing with me for real. So, I ain't really got over it yet. The loss alone would have been enough to put strain on any relationship. But what went down next would be the straw that broke the camel's back. Straight up after Big Scar's passing, a whole public beef jumped off over funeral expenses. Scar's people accused Gucci Mane of, initially, putting his word on covering the whole tab estimated around $60,000, but only sliding through with $10,000 with Atlantic Records matching that amount. The family had to cover the remaining $40,000 out of Scar's life insurance, which had folks heated. My brother just passed away, ho. He deserved way more than what Gucci put in. You talking about some flowers and one okay. He ain't pay for no funeral. He put towards the funeral, but he ain't pay for it. He said that he was going to pay for the funeral and he ain't do that. But it was going to get paid for regardless. He want all 4 chains back. He ain't getting no girl. Underscore them receipts. Don't nobody give a about them receipts, showing number 20K. I'm telling y'all what I seen. It's on a receipt for 1 okay that we got. What? It's on a receipt for 1 okay that we got. What? But he just trying to clear up her husband name and he ain't trying to come to us and talk to us as a man. The accusations hit different, fam. Not only had Gucci allegedly fumbled the bag on his promise about the funeral costs, but according to the family, he had also asked for Big Scar's 1017 chains back. For a family deep in their grief, for a cousin locked away during federal time with no way to step in. This felt like the ultimate snake move. Gucci's wifey, Keisha Kawar, posted receipts showing a $20,000 total contribution from Gucci and the label trying to clear her man's name. Big Scar's pops later addressed the situation on the gram, standing up for Gucci and calling it a misunderstanding that started with Scar's mom's. But the damage was already done in the court of public opinion, and more importantly, in Pooh Shiesty's mind. But the smoke between Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty didn't exist in a vacuum. I mean, it was all tied up with another long-standing beef that had been brewing for over a decade. The tension between Gucci Mahani and Yodi, the Gucci May and Yodi rivalry, kicked off back in 2012 when both of them planned to drop projects on October 17th. A date that held weight for Gucci since it represented his 1017 label. What could have been some friendly competition between two of the South's most respected artists quickly turned into something way more personal. He was upset that you put your mixtape tape out the same day as his. Yeah, I mean he ain't say my name. He just like why would a rapper do it? But you know when nobody get mad right on the same day. So, you know, I thought you had over a chick. I thought you were smashing the chickens up. Yeah, you guys had some dishes over Keisha Dior. Gotti starts laughing and smiling. I'm tell you where it started. We going to get to this? That bomb drop that Yo Gotti had been messing with Keshia Kawar around the same time. Gucci started dealing with her, added a whole layer of personal beef that went way beyond industry competition. And according to multiple sources, Gucci's whole strategy of signing Memphis artists like Pooh Shiesty was itself a form of get back against Yo Gotti. So you don't think there were what Gucci was doing? Locking down Atlanta, signing everybody in Atlanta when he got into it with Jez, locking this city down, got into it with Gotti signed the whole Memphis, now they can't mess with him. Now all he signed for Memphis. He sound like 9 artists from Memphis. Everybody he dropped was a Memphis artist. In October 2024, Gucci announced he was cutting loose all his 1017 artists except Pushiest and Fujiano, talking about how he reviewed his profit and loss statements. The announcement was wild in how sudden it was, releasing hella Memphis artists at once in what a lot of people saw as him unwinding his whole war strategy against Yo Gotti. Hey, what's up y'all? Listen, I wanted to make this announcement on 1017 yesterday, but I just seen like my statement, my P&L with all my artists. You know, it's almost like a whole bunch of shakeup and it's a whole underscore show in the industry right now. But when I looking at my P&L and me being a businessman, I think that I'm going have to release almost all my artists except for Pushiest and Fuji. This is a decision I didn't want to make. I thought about it. You know what I'm saying? I can keep all them under the contract. The artists who got dropped included Matt Kreider and KO2X from Memphis, Bretnan from Chattanooga, FTO Set from Memphis, Hot Boy West from Texas, and Big Walk Dog from Mississippi. A good chunk of them was from Memphis, the exact city Gucci had supposedly been targeting to undercut Yo Gotti's dominance in his own backyard. And now with Pooh Shiesty fresh out the feds, all these storylines was about to collide in the most dramatic way you could ever imagine. The allegations and the fallout. In the days and weeks after Pooh Shiesty touched back down from federal custody, folks paying attention started noticing some real subtle but major shifts in the public dynamics between him and Gucci Mane. First, there was the quiet but telling moment that raised eyebrows across the internet. Gucci Mane posted a welcome home message for Pooh Shiesty on Instagram, and then deleted it without explanation. No clarification, no follow-up, nothing. In hip-hop, silence often speaks louder than words, and fans immediately sensed something wasn't right behind the scenes. Shortly after, Pooh Shiesty dropped his highly anticipated single FDO, and the numbers spoke for themselves. The song debuted at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving that, even after years behind bars, his commercial pull hadn't faded at all. From a business standpoint, this was a major win. But musically, it was the content of the song and what was missing that really set the internet on fire. In Shiesty made a clear reference showing love to Yo Gotti, while completely avoiding any mention of Gucci Mane, the man widely viewed as his mentor and label boss at 1017 Records. That omission didn't go unnoticed. Fans immediately began questioning where Shiesty's loyalty truly stood. Lines referencing Memphis roots and Yo Gotti fueled speculation that he was drifting closer to CMG territory, whether officially or not. Then the situation escalated from speculation to outright chaos. According to blogger Tasha K, Pooh Shiesty allegedly orchestrated a kidnapping involving Gucci Mane, holding him at gunpoint in order to force the signing of release papers from his 1017 Records contract. The claim suggested this was all done so Shiesty could move freely toward Yo Gotti's collective music group. Tasha K emphasized that the information was alleged and came from what she described as a strong source close to the situation. The rumor exploded after being posted on X on January 18, 2026. Within hours, it spread across hip-hop blogs, YouTube channels, and social media timelines everywhere. Some fans began framing Shiesty's alleged frustration with 1017 as similar to artists' past complaints about exploitative deals, with comparisons being made to Death Row Records era controversies, though none of that has been confirmed, adding fuel to the fire. Hernandez Govan, who had previously been connected to the Young Dolph Murdo conspiracy trial, jumped into the conversation with explosive accusations. His statements dragged Gucci Mane's personal life, Yo Gotti's past relationships, and Memphis rap politics into the spotlight, pouring gasoline on an already uncontrollable blaze. Whether credible or not, his words amplified the chaos and kept the story trending. Things only got messier when YouTube Personality C. Nash claimed that Gucci Mane was allegedly robbed of his wedding ring and watch during a confrontation involving Shiesty and his crew. According to these unverified claims, Gucci was forced to sign paperwork and then allegedly had valuables worth millions taken anyway. Again, no police reports or official confirmation backed this up, but the internet ran with it. At the same time, rumors surfaced that Pooh Shiesty had been taken back into custody for violating probation conditions, including appearing in music videos. Some online voices speculated that this was connected to the alleged Gucci Mane incident, even floating unverified claims involving Gucci's wife contacting authorities. These claims were later walked back. Shiesty's legal situation was eventually clarified when his label confirmed he had not been rearrested. Instead, he was completing a halfway house requirement as part of his supervised release. Bureau of Prisons listings showed him assigned to a residential reentry facility in Dallas, with full supervision scheduled to end in April 2026. Meanwhile, whispers about a CMG move continued to grow louder. Industry insiders and commentators claimed that discussions were happening behind closed doors, suggesting Shiesty could officially align with Yo Gotti in the near future. While nothing has been announced, Yo Gotti has publicly shown support for Shiesty since his release, posting videos and appearing alongside him in footage from Paris. The optics alone told a powerful story. To this day, neither Gucci Mane nor Pooh Shiesty has addressed the kidnapping or robbery allegations publicly. No police reports have surfaced. No official statements have been made. What remains is a storm of social media theories, YouTube breakdowns, and accusations from sources with varying credibility. What does seem clear is that the relationship between Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty appears permanently fractured. The deleted Instagram post, the silence and the public accusations tied to the Memphis rap scene all point toward a break that may never be repaired. For Gucci Mane, this situation adds another complicated chapter to his legacy as both an artist and a label executive. Critics have long questioned 1017's ability to retain talent, pointing to tragedies, legal troubles, and artists leaving under controversy. Losing Pooh Shiesty, arguably his biggest remaining star, could mark a turning point in his executive career. For Pooh Shiesty, the future remains uncertain. His chart success proves the audience is still there, but controversy and unresolved rumors complicate his next move. If a CMG signing becomes official, he'd be joining a powerful machine capable of elevating his career, while also entering an environment known for its own history of conflict and federal scrutiny. The heart of it all lies a cold truth about hip-hop. Loyalty is currency, and it can be traded, spent, or taken. What started as an OG young artist relationship built on trust has spiraled into a cautionary tale about power, money, and survival in the rap game. The streets are watching, the industry is watching, and somewhere beneath all the noise, the real truth is still waiting to surface. The real truth is still waiting to surface.